Hello and welcome to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us for another segment. You know, back pain, neck pain, sciatica, all sorts of pain, arm pain. They're some of the most common complaints around the world. In all countries, about 4 out of 5 people suffer from one of these types of ailments at some point in their life. These ailments, some might consider, insignificant. Some might consider extremely significant, but nevertheless, they're costing hundreds of billions of dollars every year. In addition, this pandemic has rendered people into solitary states and has kind of diminished our mobility and worsened those of us who are suffering from back pain. Well, there is an answer, and we're going to hear from returning guest, Dr. Ken Hansraj. He's joining us returning. He's a New York-based spinal and orthopedic surgeon. He's joining us to talk about LIFT, Meditations to Boost Back Health. It's a 6-track CD inspired by his daily meditations to treat his own chronic pain. Welcome back, Ken. How have you been?
Neil, it's so nice to be with you again. I'm good. Thank you.
Well, for the listeners who may not be familiar with you, when you were here before, give us a bit of your professional background briefly, and then let's jump right into these meditation CDs.
Well, Neil, I'm an orthopedic spine surgeon in New York, and my focus in research is helping people, and we've done studies which are essentially posture-based studies. These meditations explore the back-saving strategies of, for example, posture on a phone, belly fat impact to back pain, breast forces to the spine by breast size, magnified spine forces in the backpack in kids and military, and how lifting sends stresses to the spine. So the lifting we're talking about in these last 2 meditations are really lifting. People who lift for a living or lift in daily life.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, lifting involves all parts of the body, the neck, the head, the spine, the back, the legs. Are we simply talking about proper lifting techniques? You mentioned posture before. Is it simply paying attention to what you're doing when you're lifting? Or are there other aspects of this program as well that assist with this?
So we created 2 meditations for lift. The first meditation is called the Lift Who Am I meditation. Mm-hmm. And in the Lift Who Am I, we explore, for example, Neil, the average person lifts 20 to 50 pounds per day, which is 5,000 to 18,000 pounds a year. Delivery people can lift 1 to 1.5 million pounds per year. And then we get into the multipliers. What are the multipliers that multiply these lifting weights to lifting forces and really exacerbate the back?
So just the way that you're lifting can increase weight of the object that you're lifting, or at least make it seem that way on the body.
Magnifies it. So, Neil, whatever someone lifts in a day, they lift 5 times a week, 50 weeks a year, which is 250 times multiplier. So immediately you start to get an estimate of minimum 250. There's 365 days a year. So the average person lifting 20 to 50 pounds a day turns out to be 5,000 to 18,000 pounds a year.
How do you learn or train yourself to think about how you're lifting, how you're standing, the posture that you're using when you're on the phone or just sitting at your desk? How do you make that become part of your life, second nature, as it were?
So first there's awareness, right? You need to be aware. And so there's more mathematically, Neil, just one step before we get into full awareness. So our studies show that when you bend 20 degrees forward with something in a backpack, it weighs 9 times more, or 30 degrees, 12 times more. And so there's a magnification when you bend forward, which is poor posture. And also, our studies show that when you lift something close to the body, it's 1/2 times the weight. 45 degrees away from the body, it's 2 times the weight. The force is 2 times the weight. 90 degrees with the effect of gravity, you're 4 times the weight. And so as to your question in regards to being aware of proper posture, so proper posture is your ears above your shoulders, your angel wings or your scapula retracted, and your belly tucked. So your belly is tucked into your navel. And that's the most efficient position for carrying things about the spine. And so then there are the magnifiers that you need to be aware of. So you have proper posture, and then you have to be aware of the magnifiers. The things you lift will multiply to the spine.
How does this 6-track CD assist us in being aware and putting some of these practices into practical application?
So, Neil, I combined with a world-renowned team, Greg Knowles and Jay Fallon and Joe Costable. We created this 6-track CD with great care and amazing musical backdrop sounds. Those music supporting the tracks are incredible. Mm-hmm. And they're all performed by Grammy Award winners and also professors from Juilliard School of Music. So we say the words in a way that you can hear it and feel it, and we back it with music. And so we teach you in the first meditation to understand who am I and what am I lifting and what the magnification factors are.
Does each of these tracks piggybacks off the track before it, or can they be listened to individually in any order in order to be effective?
So in regards to lift, we also created a second track to be listened to separately. So we're fully well aware that if you're an express delivery driver, you don't want to derive or understand the mathematics, and you want to do something daily to protect yourself. So the last track is called Lift, my daily routine meditation. And in this, we encourage a worker, especially someone that's lifting 4,000 pounds a day or 1 million pounds a year or 6,000 pounds a day or 1.5 million pounds a year. So we encourage them to do breath work. We teach them to do deep belly breathing. We encourage them to do stretch work. Stretch your neck, stretch your back, stretch your arms, stretch your legs. We encourage them to do strength work, such as a brief set of push-ups, sit-ups, planking, and such. And we encourage them to start their day with aerobic work, such as high knees, mid-stands, and butt kicks running on a spot, just 30 seconds each. And so we say, hey, you are doing more work than an elite athlete, and you need to warm up like an elite athlete. You need to be ready for your day. So we teach the breath work, the stretch work, the strength work, the aerobic work. And then we encourage people to do a 1/2 hour vacation in the day.
Does this vacation include all of these, the breath work, the strength, or just a meditation in that vacation?
So, Neil, we had proposed it's a great story. I want to tell it for your audience. We had proposed a scenario to Saturday Night Live, and it has to do with the 1/2 hour vacation, right? So the scenario I sent them was, I don't know if they'll build it, but so a gentleman truck driver at lunch embraces deep breaths, good posture, all in sunlight. He turns off his phone. He's so very happy, and he places his rig in park. And then he breathes in the fresh air.
Yeah.
The camera pans out. The police are rushing to him. Helicopters are zooming in. So he's sitting on the George Washington Bridge in New York.
Taking a 1/2 hour vacation in the middle of the George Washington Bridge. Yeah.
But the point is that people need to start to think of taking a 1/2 hour for themselves in the middle of the day, in their car, in a park, in their office, just taking care of themselves.
Well, Ken, if you would, give our listeners a website where we can learn more and learn about Lift and any of the other meditation suggestions that you have to help alleviate some of these pains that we live with. My
website is www.drken.us. And the meditations emerge on February 14, 2022, of course, wherever songs and books are sold.
Always a pleasure, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to be speaking again in the future, especially as more information about the Lift program and Lift CDs becomes available. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Pleasure to be with you, Neil. Have a great day.
You as well. You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with returning guest Dr. Ken Hansraj. Audio copies of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, listen in, download a SoundCloud, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com, Health Professional Radio.